So we got some bad news. We actually got it yesterday, and as I want to preface this by saying, uh, we'll somehow or another we'll make it through this. But as you guys know, my wife is a mortician. she she lost her job yesterday. Yeah, it's something that we didn't have any idea was going to happen. She is so good at what she does. She's so well liked. Any videos you've seen of me with Beth in it, you can absolutely tell that she's just completely awesome. And she really is. Her customers, she has this soothing effect on people. And it's magic. I mean, she even took a Reiki course for I don't know how long so that she could help people with after death needs. No funeral homes really help with that. Beth said, we need to keep caring for these people after we cash their check. Many, many, many funeral homes, that's all they care about is the fiduciary responsibilities of the decedents. Beth's not like that. Beth wants people to heal afterwards because she's been through it. Probably shouldn't share this. Beth's older sister was murdered when she was a little girl. It was national news. They thought her husband did it. It was just like this rando guy that lived next door. And Beth's sister was about my age. And Beth was a little girl. And it's absolutely amazingly horrible what she went through. I think this has a lot to do with why Beth does what she does for a living. So we really don't know what we're going to do right now. We don't know if we're going to have to put our house up on the market or what. I can do what I do anywhere. And I make okay money. I mean, I don't make great money. I don't make $100,000 a year. And that's what she was, hired at. And, the issue is I feel bad because my wife came home a month ago and she said, I don't know if I want to do this job anymore. And I'm like, why? You're so good at it. You make great money. Quit complaining. I was a dick, I was like, quit complaining, man. You make great money. I've been submitting to the cruise ships, dry bar, you name it. I've worked my ass off and nobody's interested in me. I do a good show. I'm funny. People love what I do. And I'm just, not sought after. And I can live with that. I can't live with people treating my wife like this. This people that she worked with, the owner was a very close friend of ours. Her and her husband were very good people. We loved them to death. She's begged Beth for 3 years to go in business with her, not as a partner, but Beth, to be a funeral home and anywhere, you have to have a license. And you have to have a license, FDIC, funeral director in charge, to do any kind of business, burials, cremations, anything. That's just a law. That's where it is everywhere. And Beth was like, no, I'm working for a big company, but Beth has always wanted to be a small town type of aftercare funeral home. She doesn't want to be big business. She doesn't want to be corporate. And no offense to the company she used to work with, they're like family to us. They have went nuts calling us, texting us. They're just great people, the people she used to work with. And she left that company after 8 years to go to work here for these people. And it was, you wouldn't believe all the stuff they promised her. And what I've deduced is that these people wanted, or this person wanted Beth to do everything: sell, embalm, bury, makeup, everything. That's not how it goes. You have pre-need that sells. They have a license for that. Then you have your funeral director that does embalming, that does setting up the funeral, everything. And Beth's specialty is the law part of it. She knows it inside and out. This person she worked with, she's like, oh, change the prices, do that. And Beth's like, I can't do that morally, and I can't do it legally. Beth is a badass at what she does. And I need to probably tell her that more often, because I've seen the way people I've heard horror stories about people coming in that funeral home she used to work at, And Beth and the girl she used to work with are both really similar in the way they do business. They're real soothing. They don't run their mouth. They'll sit and listen to you cry for an hour. When you hire somebody to do a burial for you, it's the worst possible moment of their lives. I know, I've been there. When you go to see a funeral director and they just want to sell you, they just, buy this big $10,000 headstone. They don't care about you. Beth and her friend Gina really super duper would just take all the time in the world to make you feel better. And she, yesterday she called me at 9:30 and she said, they just let me go. It's just, and believe it or not, she took it better than I did. I mean, Beth was like, I understand, I guess, I guess they just, can't afford me. And she's the only FDIC at this place. I'm not going to mention who they are. I don't think that's fair because they can't argue with me. And I just don't, I can't believe I'm looking out for them after what they've done to us, because this is total bullshit. She doesn't deserve this. Not to mention, I worked there and did thousands of dollars worth of work there and never turned in a bill, never asked them for any money or anything because my wife worked there. My wife was startup. She was there before they opened to help them she did all the pricing, she did everything for this company. And we just don't know now. We have no clue what we're going to do. I mean, we're not homeless. It's not like that. But, we don't live beyond our means. But like most couples, like a lot of families, we're close. We're close. We're not putting $2,000 a month in our retirement. We're not taking an extra $500 every other week and putting it in our Christmas fund. Our kids are all moved out. We're empty nesters, and our kids are doing great. My son is absolutely knocking it out of the park. Her 4 kids, who I wasn't really close to all of them when they were living with us because of her ex-husband, we're close now. We all love each other, text each other. I'm so glad they're doing well. But this is uncalled for, okay? After all that begging and pleading and everything to get Beth to leave her corporate job, she does, and she lasts 6 months, 2 weeks. Okay, 2 weeks ago, she could have went back and got her old job. And I think these people knew this. Maybe not, because I hate to say they're bad people because I was such good friends with them. We're not anymore. That's done. I don't give a shit how childish that sounds. You hurt my family. You hurt my wife. All bets are off. And anybody who watches our videos knows Beth's a good person. She's not overbearing. She cares about people more than she should. Beth only puts her foot down with me. And she has to because I'm a dildo head. But this just, knowing how hard it was, she went to school for almost 3 years for this. She's not just a funeral director. She got the law degree. You got to get a little law certificate. Funeral director. She got embalming and facial reconstruction, all that kind. She got the whole kit and caboodle. Nowadays, when you go get a funeral director license, you don't have to do all that. You can get just one. She got it all because she wanted to be thorough. So if you get a chance, if you know my wife or anything, she doesn't do social media because of her job. Give her some good thoughts. Send her some good chi because she's a great girl. She's my best friend in the world. We've been together almost 13 years now, married almost 3. And I'm going to tell you, man, I'm a big walking bucket of dog shit. I always have been. Once I got sober, I started liking this guy a little bit. I've been sober almost 14 years. And I always hated myself. And Beth soothed that. She fixed that. She had a lot to do with how that works. And seeing her treated this way, it just makes me want to revert back to the old Doug. And if anybody knew me from before, they know what the old Doug is capable of doing. And I just love my wife, and I want y'all to send her some good chi because she deserves it. She don't deserve to be treated like this. So I'm probably going to do a live stream with her later or something like that. And just send her some love, man. She really needs it, and she deserves it. And I want to thank everybody on my subscription list. And I want to thank everybody on my YouTube for listening to my stuff and for being friends with both of us. We love y'all, and we couldn't do this without you.